Hey, what's up, my people, my brothers and sisters? Thank you so much for joining once again. And just chilling in my bedroom with the rain going on in the background and my family playing some music. So if you do hear some background noise, um, just forgive me on that. In our religion, we believe that the rain is a blessing and a sign of God's mercy. And anyway, I want to discuss this little saying in front of you. From my religion perspective, if you do not believe in Islam, it's 100% okay, bro. I'm not here to convert you or anything like that. I'm not a priest or anything, dude. I'm just an average Joe, trying to follow to the right path and stay on this journey. And as you can see here, our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who was a messenger of Islam, a prophet such as, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Yusuf, Joseph, Moses. We believe Jesus, peace be upon him, to be a prophet as well. Peace be upon all of those men. Those great men were all prophets of God. And basically, bro, he is explaining here something really important. And as you know, as I mentioned in my other videos, that I had an older brother who passed away. And I know a lot of brothers out there who do not have any guidance. Maybe their father wasn't really in the picture, or maybe their father is in the picture but really isn't in the picture. These dads are just doing what they know. They're not exposed to all this new stuff. And basically, we have young men seeking guidance. So I would recommend you seek the guidance from this man, Muhammad, peace be upon him. And if you look in a book called The Greatest Men of History, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the first man on that list. And a lot of people have said a lot of great things about him. And it's just a suggestion, bro. You don't have to. I'm not hating on you if you don't or anything like that. It's just a suggestion, bro. But basically, us as Muslims, we do follow his way. He is our guidance. He is our role model. Therefore, all these other role models can be excluded because he was perfect. He was perfect in all areas of his life. He was the example for mankind. And we can see here in this case, he's saying to lower your gaze for the men, to lower your gaze and to protect your private parts, to hide them. When he says protect them, obviously we already know what that means, and to keep them private and to not. We already know what he's saying when he's saying that. I don't have to go into too much detail. To lower your gaze, okay. So basically, in Islam, in the Quran, we are taught to lower our gaze, and that's basically to prevent us looking at something that might tempt us to gawk at something. So let's say your eyes are up and you see something. The first look is okay. And this is something I learned from my Islamic scholars, because I'm not an Islamic scholar. Anyway, basically, he was the perfect example, and we lower our gaze because we might see something, and then if we choose to stare at that something, then that is our choice. Then God will keep us accountable for the stare. But if you just look at it by an accident, it's okay. It's if you stare at it intentionally. Like today, I was walking home and I saw a female, and she was doing a lot of exercise, and she was just showing all her skin and shit. And I just looked at her. I'm like, all right, I accidentally had to stare. I understand that is something attractive, but I kept my head down. I kept looking forward, and that was my choice. I really like to thank God for giving me the strength to do that, and I like to thank myself for having that restraint. God will give you the strength and guidance, but you have to have the restraint. We are taught self-restraint or semen retention. Anyway, basically, bro, and he's saying here to lower your gaze. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you're gonna be better off that way, looking down and not really having your eyes up, gawking at everything. You know what I mean? And basically, bro, he said the same thing for the woman. And for the woman, he said to protect your private parts. You know what I mean? And he says, to not show apart from what is already apparent. Like we have people today, both men and women, wearing clothing that is exposing their body, and like you have these pants now who are, they're not really covering their legs, but they're called pants. You have these shirts and clothing, they're called shirts, but they're not really covering what it should be covering. You know what I mean? One of the prophecies that the Prophet of Islam predicted, peace be upon him. Uh, God gave him the ability to predict this. He didn't predict this himself. God gave him the ability, God gave Jesus the ability. Basically, he predicted that when the day of judgment comes, people will be dressed but undressed. If you want, I can leave that in the comments. But basically, one of the things was he prophesied that people will be dressed but undressed. And you have a look at around you today, and you can see women wearing clothing, but they're not really wearing clothing. You see men wearing clothing, but they're not really. You know what I mean? It's basically the shame element has been taken away, and it's one of the devil's things to want. He wants you to show more and more skin. This is something that I learned from the Islamic scholars, because I am not an Islamic scholar myself, obviously, but this is just something we learned, bro. That it's gonna be better for you. You know what I mean? Like, have patience, bro. You know, have patience. Your time will come. You know what I mean? Your time will come to finally be intimate with a woman. You know what I mean? There's some people who are finally having kids, and they thought back to when they were teens. When am I finally gonna do it? They've done it now. Now they have kids, and it's not really a big deal. You know what I mean? So your time will come, bro. Have what we call sabr, which means patience in my religion. Have patience. This is something that I'm also journaling to myself. Remember, these are my journalings. Have patience. And just understand that a bigger reward will come. You're going to have an intimate relationship, so why not do it the right way? Why rush into it and do it the wrong way? It's such a beautiful experience. Why not just do it the right way? And let's follow the best man's example, and let's follow what he said. And he's told us to keep ourselves pure and clean until the time we are married. That's the better way to do it, bro. And you're going to be rewarded for that, and you're going to enjoy it 10 times more. God bless. Look after yourself and take care.